Hello, everybody. My name is Dave Michael Sterling. I've been putting on Facebook and Instagram and other places saying that I am Jesus Christ, and you're all probably saying, "No, you're not. Go and take your medication." To be honest, I wasn't told that I was Jesus Christ, but I overheard it from my dad. Overheard it from other people as well. Before I was conceived, my mother and my dad was in the military, army, stationed in Germany. My mother, she was normal. She didn't never heard voices or anything like that, even though it was in the family. But my mother, one day, she was sleeping and she woke up by hearing a voice in her ear saying that she's going to have baby Jesus Christ. My mother told my dad. My dad thought she was crazy. Took her to a mental hospital. Psychiatrist even thought she was even crazy as well. The voices kept on telling my mom to write a book to give to her son, me. Of course, my dad found her writing a book, took her and the book to a priest. The priest, a Roman Catholic priest, the priest told my dad that she was crazy. Read the book and even said, "This is blasphemy." Excuse me. I can't really talk. I don't really talk that much. I usually talk with my thoughts, and that's it. But anyways, I was born on April 11th, 1973. Let's see. I had spiritual gifts. Never told anybody about it. Kept it a secret. My mom always constantly gave me comic books to read. Believe or Not, and Boris Karloff's comic books. Always said, read these comic books, study the pictures, believe that you're greater than anybody else in the universe. So I started having dreams now. Best dreams ever. 4K, ultra vision, all my senses are working. Touch, taste, smell. I could read in my dreams. I remember one dream that I had. It was based on one of the comic books. I think it was the Boris Karloff, of giant hands controlling everybody, and objects and all. And the only thing they weren't controlling was me. So I became greater than anybody else, and basically save everybody, so everybody won't be controlled like puppets, like Pinocchio. Let's see. I had abilities to do certain things. I knew when someone was lying or not. When I was living in Germany, on a military base in Germany, I was in school one day, and I was a very popular boy in school. Everybody wanted to be my friend. Boys, girls, even teachers, even people's parents or kids' parents. Every girl wanted to go out with me. Every boy wanted to be my best friend. Of course, I was 6 years old during winter time. Didn't have a girlfriend. Of course, I was 6 years old. I wasn't planning on having a girlfriend. Then this girl named Alyssa appears. Strawberry blonde hair, beautiful blue eyes, beautiful freckles underneath the eyes, beautiful smile, wavy hair, wearing a pink winter jacket with the white trim of fur around the hood. Saw her. She was also a popular girl in school. Everybody wanted to go out with her, and she was turning everybody down. When I saw her, I saw fireworks behind her and a big red heart. She saw me. We had eye contact, and I fell in love with her on sight. She came up to me, introduced herself, and asked, "Do I have a girlfriend?" I told her, "No, I don't." wasn't, like I said, planning on having a girlfriend. I was 6 years old. But she asked me, will I be her boyfriend? Unfortunately, of course, I said yes. So we're going out. She was my first kiss. Me and her made a promise to each other that later on in the future, when we get older, get in touch with each other and be together and get married and have kids. 3 days later, I was in school. She wasn't there, and I got really worried. School was out. I ran to her apartment, and knocked on her door. Her dad answered the door, crying. He had blonde hair, mustache, and he looked at me. He goes, "Yes, I'm Dave." I looked at him like, "Is Alyssa home?" He looked at me and goes, "I'm sorry, Dave. No, she's not. She's in the hospital right now." I looked at him like, what happened?" He goes, "Yesterday, or last night, her and her sister was playing in their bedroom, on their bunk bed, jumping up and down on the top of the bed, and Alyssa's foot slipped, and she hit her head quite a few times, and hit the floor with her head, cracked her head wide open. She died the very next day." Fortunately, that's when I found out my parents, my dad and my mom, didn't give a shit about me. Because I was in the living room the day I found out that she died and cried. My mom and dad just sat on their ass, basically to do nothing. Then my mom had the nerve to say, "That wasn't love you had with her. That was puppy love. Later in the future, you will not remember her at all." Like I said, she's dead wrong. I remember her very well. She was my first true love. During the summertime, my mom trying to get me not to remember her at all, took me to Wisconsin. Had a blast at the time. Got another girlfriend. Her name was Nikki. Unfortunately, I didn't stay in Wisconsin, all because it was just a visit. And that was the last time I saw Nikki. The last time I saw my family members from my mom's side. Had a near-death experience when I was in Germany. I was on a slide and I felt a hand push me. I fell over the side of the slide. It was a 12-foot metal slide. I hit face first on the concrete pavement. Got 2 black eyes, a cut underneath my nose, and a cut underneath my lip on my chin. Ran home crying. My dad took me to the hospital. Doctor asked me what happened. I told him. He knows that slide very well. People have died. Kids have died off that slide. Doctor said it was a miracle that I didn't break my neck. Moved to Texas. Didn't have no girlfriend. Didn't want no girlfriend. I mean, I knew I was going to be moving again, but I was ended up being Mr. Popular again. Or popular kid again. Every boy wanted to be my friend. I had all ages of kids. Every girl wanted to go out with me. Of course, I turned them all down. I had 3 near-death experiences there. First death experience, I was at a friend's house. He had mattresses, like 5 of them, on the driveway. And we were jumping off the house to the mattresses. I did it quite a few times, had fun. On the 10th time, my foot slipped and I did a belly flop onto the driveway. Got knocked out cold. Woke up. I was perfectly fine. The only thing is I had a big giant bruise on my belly. Told everybody, don't tell anybody about what just happened. Of course, no one did. Second death experience, I was at a community park, and there was a trampoline. There was about 10 of us on the trampoline, jumping up and down. And the oldest one, he was 18 years old, or 17 years old, excuse me, asked me to sit in the middle. I was the youngest one. And I sat in the middle of the trampoline, and everyone's jumping up and down. I was going up and down, of course, while I was sitting. Then this overweight young guy asked to join us, and everyone said, yeah, sure. They asked me to stay in the middle still. So they all started jumping, and of course, when the big, giant, fat guy jumped, I didn't go up and down no more. Somehow I ended up flying. I ended up getting my head stuck between the two springs, and my body kept on going and went over the bar. I should have a broken neck then. Instead, I got just 2 cuts on my ears. Third death experience, I was with the oldest kid, and he was giving me let me right on his neck, I guess I can say. And I fell backwards and hit my head really hard onto the sidewalk and got a concussion. No cracked head, but just a major big bump. I had a really weird experience. I was in Germany. It was almost Halloween. And my mom and my dad asked me, do I want to get go to the store and get my Halloween costume? I said, sure, yes, definitely. It was supper time, got done eating, and it didn't feel good. So I ended up going to bed instead of going to the store. I woke up later that night, scared. Thought my mom and my dad left me home to go get my Halloween costume. I did not bother looking in their bedrooms or their home. Instead, I start running to the living room. Got the living room door, the front door, and the doorknob was away from my reach. I couldn't reach the doorknob. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I got scared. I dropped to my knees and started crying. Then all of a sudden I heard a noise, a weird noise. Didn't know what the noise was. I looked up, and all of a sudden I see a shadow of a woman, looks like a witch, with a hat and all, on a broomstick flying by. I screamed, cried, put my head down between my legs, scared now, didn't know what the hell's going on. All of a sudden a light switch turns on. I jumped up, turned around, and saw my mom there. I was confused, because my mom, when she walks, both her ankles crack. They're really loud when they crack. There was no noise at all. So I asked her, I'm like, Mom, why didn't your ankles crack? She looks at me and she goes, you'll find out later on about who I am. She never told me, though. Moving to North Carolina now, I made a lot of friends again. I had a 23-year-old woman, beautiful as ever, hot as fuck. I was 7.5 years old. This woman always changed her clothes in front of me, to having no clothes at all, no bra, no panties. Had another girl named Tasha, a black girl. She's cute. Me and her became best friends. Then I made knew another girl named Nicole. On my 8th birthday, Nicole had a birthday gift for me. She goes, let's go to the woods. I got a birthday gift for you. Went to the woods. There's a junkyard. Went to the junkyard area. And everything's all set up for something. Then she asked me to take off my clothes. I looked at her and I'm like, no. And then she goes, fine, I'll take them off for you. She overpowered me because she was 12 years old. I was 8. And she removed my clothing, removed her clothing, told me to lay down. I said no, and she pushed me down on the bed, on the mattress, and she had her way with me. She raped me, basically. When she got done, I actually enjoyed it. And then she said, do not tell nobody what I just did to you. I learned this on TV. Sure enough, for a whole week, I didn't tell nobody, but the week was over with. I had to tell somebody. So, I told her brother and sister. They're both older, a lot older than her too. They were like in the teens. And her brother and her sister took her into their bedroom, and they scolded her. Then, of course, I was in the hallway, door was shut, overhearing them. The brother goes, Nicole, what you did was really wrong. Nicole goes, but I love him. Yes, but you love the wrong person. He doesn't know who he is, but we do. His mom been hearing voices saying that he's Jesus Christ. His dad believes it. They were trying to change him into something else. And what you did probably kind of affected him. I erased that from my memory. I thought that was just a joke. Moved to Tampa. My mom starts acting weird in front of me. Now she's like taking me into the bedroom in the morning time. I'm ready dressed, ready to go to school or ready to go out and play. She takes me into the bedroom, wearing her nightgown, and she takes off her nightgown, has nothing underneath, and just starts posing for me right in front of me. Didn't know why she was doing that at first. Then she stays like that for about 5 minutes. Then she gets dressed and tells me to leave. She's been doing this since we moved to Tampa until she died. Then one night, my mom and my dad, actually my mom woke up screaming, crying. Now, screaming and yelling on top of her lungs, and ended up asking my dad that she needed to go to the hospital. She's hearing voices again, and they're really loud, they won't let her sleep. My dad buckled me in the car, back seat. My dad got in the driver's seat. My grandmother and my mom was in the other side of the car. My grandmother's trying to coax my mom into the car. My mom's about to get in the car. All of a sudden, she looks at me and she backs away, and she says to my grandma, she goes, "I cannot sit in the car by baby Jesus Christ." My grandmother, she didn't say nothing. Instead, she ended up looking inside the car, looking at me. Her eyes were regular blue color. All of a sudden, her eyes ended up changing to this bluish, whitish color right in front of my eyes, and all of a sudden, she had this huge grin on her face. Then she backs away, then said to my mom, and said, "That's not baby Jesus Christ, that's your son, Dave." So my mom finally got in the car. I was about to hold her hand. She snatched her hand away from me and said, "I am not worthy to be touched by you. I did not raise you right." I started crying. Unfortunately, when I cry, I never get a warm shoulder to cry on. No one ever comforts me. My mom went to the hospital. She was there for about a week or a month, I'm not really sure. About 3 days after that, I was in school. I was in school, in the classroom, doing my classwork. All of a sudden I hear this little girl, cute, beautiful girl's voice in my ear, saying, "You hurry home. When I get home, my mother has something very important to tell me." So, when school got out, I took my girlfriend Tammy home. And when I got home, I tried to search I called for my mom. My mom wasn't answering me. I found my mom passed out on her chair. I tried waking her up. She did not wake up. The thoughts of killing myself appeared in my head, and I attempt that. I was 9.5 years old, attempting to kill myself. I had this funny feeling my life's going to suck really bad. And sure enough, just when I about to attempt it, I feel a little girl's hand on my shoulder, heard her in my ear, saying, "Please, Dave, don't do that. We'll figure something else in the future for you." I didn't know what she means by that either. So my mother won't wake up. My grandma finally gets home. She ended up picking up the phone. I didn't know nothing about 911 either. For some reason, didn't even look for any help. I don't know what was going on with me. But my grandma picked up the phone, and sure enough, car came, ambulance, and fire truck. The cop took me aside, interrogated me without a parent supervision, asked me so many questions I had no idea any answers about. A paramedic found an empty pill bottle of my mother's prescription bottle that she got from the hospital. And they took her to the hospital. They pumped her stomach out. My dad was at the hospital with my mom. My mother, I was told that my mom did wake up, but she was calling for my name because she had something important to tell me. My dad told my mom, I'm not there. I'm at home. And what I was told, my mom had this upset face, and she had a heart attack, a massive one, and died. My dad told me that my mom died. I didn't believe him. I thought he was joking with me. 3 or 4 days later, we went to the funeral, and sure enough, I saw my mom's dead body. When I was looking at my mom, I was begging my mom to wake up. All of a sudden, my grandmother's best friend got behind me. She grabs a hold of my shoulder really tight, and then she points and looks at me. I look at her. Her eyes change to this whitish bluish color, and she said, "Your mom's not here to save you now." Laughed and walked away. Didn't know what she means by that either. Then about 2 or 3 days later, when it was a Sunday, I realized my mom is gone. I started crying. My dad took me out of the car, grabbed the hold of my left hand with his right hand, and started squeezing my hand really hard. Didn't know why he was doing that. It was hurting my hand. He wouldn't stop. My grandmother, same thing. She grabbed the hold of my right hand, started squeezing really hard. They didn't even bother to stop, see what's wrong, why am I crying? Because no one ever does. Took me into church. Then I finally looked up to my dad. My dad looks down at me. His eyes is whitish bluish color. Squeezing my hand really hard. Look at my grandmother, same thing. Then everybody in church all stared at us. All of a sudden they started doing this whisper chant. A Latin chant. It was going on for the whole entire Mass. The priest was doing his regular routine, but everybody in church was whispering this Latin chant. My dad's completely ignoring me, crying. Nobody's coming to my aid. 35 minutes during the Mass, my dad couldn't take it no more. He turns around, looks at me, yells on top of his lungs, and asks, "What are you crying for, boy?" I looked at him and told him the main reason, because Mom's gone, that's why. All he had the nerve to say is, "Oh," turn around, and all of a sudden he starts doing his chanting. When the church finally got done, my dad and my grandmother took both my hands, so squeezing really hard, took me outside, then threw my hands down, and walked away. My tears dried up, I stopped crying, felt so different that my body jerked twice. Then a week later, my dad decided to get the house torn down. My dad, my grandmother, and my best friend's mom went to a store, left me with my best friend, Tammy, house, and I came to the idea to have a going away sex party with her. So me and her had sex. We're both 9 years old. Fortunately, me learning everything about sex from Nicole, I am doing stuff with Tammy. We moved to Brooksville, and I wasn't making no friends. I didn't know what's going on. My dreams also just changed as well. I wasn't having the dreams I used to have. I actually started having nightmares. And they weren't 4K Ultra Vision no more. They were black and white. And my senses weren't all working. Then one day in Brooksville, I was at recess. All of a sudden, my vision just went haywire. I saw like multiple colors, like dark colors everywhere. Didn't know what the hell kind of vision this was. Freaked me out. Told my teacher called my parents up, my dad up. My dad picks me up, takes me to the hospital. Tried to describe what I saw. They didn't understand what I was seeing. I realized later on in the future what it was. It was thermal vision. I was seeing thermal vision without no device at all. To realize that my dad and his family members in that church tried to change me into the Antichrist. Of course, I wasn't a virgin, so it didn't work. But instead, it made me look like the Antichrist, Lucifer. I mean, if you put one picture of me with a mustache and a goatee, bald-headed, next to an animation picture of Satan himself, dead on look alike. I stopped taking care of myself. I felt bad about myself. I mean, I have no friends. I have not heard anybody for 31 years of anybody of my liking say I am handsome, cute, good looking, whatever. And it's extremely rare to have a fat or curvy woman with a cute or ugly face say I'm handsome or whatever. I have been scammed constantly all the time since after my marriage. My ex-wife cheated on me for 10 years with 3 different men. She used the hell out of me. She always wanted me to do things for her sexually, and she never did anything for me. She always wanted me to massage her body, but she'll never do anything for me. She used me for my insurance because she always had medical problems. She fucked up my credit score. My credit score is 357 or 47. I'm not working no more because I got tired of working. I bust my ass since I've been working since the age of 22 to age 44. Paycheck to paycheck, have nothing to show for it. I cannot really support myself by working. I can make up a story, any story I want to, with a thought. The only thing is my writing skill, it sucks. When I was in school, after that incident happened, my learning capability really sucked. I ended up having to find out by a voice that I have a mind of a child that is adapting to the physical grown-up world, but my mind just got tired of what's going on. During my time, strange things did happen to me as well before that incident. First thing, when I was a baby of 1.5 years old, visiting my grandma in Tampa, Florida. My mother put me in a crib, told me to make a noise if I'm hungry. Of course, I was like 1.5, 2 years old, and she went to bed. Later on that night, I woke up hungry. I didn't feel like crying. I saw a piano at the other side of the living room. I looked at it, and the thought in my head said, bang on the piano. Of course, the piano was out of my reach. All of a sudden, the piano and my crib starts rolling together. I thought I was doing that with my mind. Fortunately, I found out it wasn't me moving them together. Of course, when the piano and the crib got together, I started banging on the piano. My dad, everybody woke up. My dad starts yelling, accusing my mom of putting the piano and the crib together. And my mother said I didn't do it. Fortunately, I found out recently, yeah, it was spirits who did it. I've been protected by spirits, kind of, since I was grown up. I asked a spirit, who told you to do this? They said, you did. I'm like, huh? They're like, the Jesus Christ in the past life told us, most of us do not go to the light. You asked us not to. I'm like, for what reason? They're like, so we can put you to sleep, so your reality will be a dream. You will have 2 lives, because we know your life's going to suck at a certain age. They told me I've been dreaming for 30 years now. This is reality for everybody. They said you're the only one who will actually remember the dream and can change things. Everybody else will not remember this at all. They're going to relive their life without the memory of the dream. I hope that's not true. I really hope that some people will actually remember what's going on, what happened in this dream. The main reason why is, crap, we can save a lot of lives. Lots of lives. The BP accident, the earthquakes, the tsunamis, everything. Then I'm also realizing, if I am dreaming, and I do wake up and I still remember the dream, I can remember all the movies and books I read. I can steal everybody's idea. Be really evil. Still everybody's idea. But then again, I'm thinking, I'm like, I could do that. But then again, I can also make friends. So, I stole your idea about a movie. And here's your money. Here's some money here. And how you'd like to be a friend. The main reason why I said this is because when I was 23 years old, I was at a friend's house. A female friend's house. A female, actually, I fell in love with on sight. Just like Alyssa. Of course, I felt like I was too ugly for her. I felt like that I'm out of her league, that she deserves somebody better. My best friend, Jamie Johnson, took me aside one day and asked me, he goes, Dave, I see in your eyes that you have a major crush on Kathy. How about go at her, ask her out? And that's when I told him, I'm like, 1, I can't. She's 16, I'm 23. 2, I'm out of her league. 3, I'm too ugly for her. So I never asked her to go out with me. But I ended up making some wishes in front of her. I ended up getting a magazine that had fairies and psychics and all that stuff. And the magazine actually had a advertisement about making 4 wishes. And I put that in, mailed it off order. And the wish thing is, it had a piece of paper, had special designs over it, cut it in quarters, and supposed to write a wish, keep it on you for a month. But one day, I was at Kathy's house, and my split personality of 9.5-year-old boy comes out, asking me to make these wishes in Kathy's bedroom. And I was talking to the little boy, I'm like, I can't do that. I can't burn paper or this and that, but I have to wait a month. She goes, no, you don't. Don't have to do it at all. So I made four wishes in front of Kathy. I have to write the wish down, burn it, and believe in the wish. So the first wish Kathy was my girlfriend. Second wish I was a god. Third wish, I wish all my friends were gods. Fourth wish, I wish I had unlimited wishes. And unfortunately, I did burn paper in Kathy's bedroom. Jamie Johnson was laying on her bed sleeping. Gerard and his friend JB was spooning on the floor. Kathy was playing Final Fantasy VII. Kathy smelled burning paper. She stopped playing her game. She did not stop me from burning paper. Instead, she sat on the side of the bed and watched me what I was doing. When I got done burning off 4 pieces of paper, the fourth one was burning, I wasn't paying attention no more. I got up, about to walk away. Kathy gets up, runs up to me, stands in front of me, looks at me, and asks me what I just did in front of her. My 9.5-year-old self came out, ended up saying nothing. Kathy, she didn't like the idea. Her eyes changed colors in front of me for a couple of seconds. Then she goes, oh, okay, and turns around, starts walking out the door. And when she's walking out the door, she ended up saying, fine, I'll find out my own way. I didn't know what she meant by that. I just stand there confused. I'm thinking how can she find out her own way? I got out of her house, drove home, about to go to bed. Just when I was about to go to bed, all of a sudden I heard a voice in my head. I heard Kathy's voice in my head. She goes, Dave, look what you just made me do. You should have told me. Instead of lying to me what you did. I'm about to talk to her. She goes, don't bother talking out loud with your mouth. I can hear your thoughts very well. And when all of a sudden she started talking to me, 5 minutes later, all of a sudden this male calm voice pops in my head. And it's saying, my son, what have you done? Why you wish to be a god when you already were a god? And my 9.5-year-old self comes out. I don't know what he said. Then he goes, the voice of God goes, you want to know how it's like to be a god? Here, this is what I go through every day. My children, talk to your new god. All of a sudden I heard men, ladies, boys, girls, millions of different voices talking to me. Kind of freaked me out, but I didn't leave my bedroom. Instead, I just jumped out of bed, searched everywhere. All of a sudden, the voice is still talking. All of a sudden, I hear God's voice as well, laughing. He goes, "You're not going to find us anywhere. We're in heaven, and we're in your head." Then God ended up telling everybody to hush. Something's really wrong with my head. Talk to me one at a time. So they talked to me one at a time, started asking questions. And one voice ended up asking me, why do I wish that all my friends were gods? My 9.5 self came out again, and I'm saying because I'd be lonely if I was the only god. So ever since then, I start hearing voices all over the place, and I also start feeling things not there. I felt people kicking me in the back when I was driving. I heard voices telling me to ask Kathy to go out with me. And of course, I was too scared to. Always thought she was too better than me. I felt pain, constantly pain. I felt pain, all types of pain, for over 20 years. I have also experienced people having sex with me or touching me sexually, but no one's there. I had a feeling of someone having sex with me from beginning to end, and I had the best orgasm ever, and it being the best sex ever in my life. I had someone rape me. Then I felt like I had little girls, children, having sex with me. Well, of course, it was a major tease. They never finished what they were doing. Then find out one day, it's like 20 years later. I'm talking to Kathy constantly all the time. Me and Kathy telepathically are best friends. But she always jokes around with me. She's like extremely evil, and of course, she jokes around too much with me telepathically. In the real world, she is afraid of me. And she's really evil, but having a double life. She didn't know nothing about me because I never really share anything with anybody telepathically either. But recently I told my life story, and all of a sudden I feel people crying. Of course, I don't cry, even though inside my heart I'm in pain. I've been hurt so many times, and I just refuse to cry. I sworn to myself I would never cry again, because, I mean, what's the point? I never have ever had any comfort from nobody, parents, family members, or even friends when I did have friends. I just was there, crying. No one does anything. Never had a warm shoulder to cry on. I had dreams. Still, I know what Dream Link is like. I actually had 3 dream links with Kathy. First dream I had of her, I was in a subway, and she was giving me a blowjob. I didn't feel nothing though, and I was thinking in my head, I'm like, I don't feel nothing. What are you doing this for? All of a sudden, Kathy stops, give me a blowjob. She looks at me, and then she says, "What? You cannot feel nothing?" I shook my head. I'm like, "No, I don't. I don't feel nothing at all." It pissed her off. So she decided to punch me in the balls. Of course, I didn't feel that either. I just kind of laughed. Next dream I had of her, me and her was in a house, nice house, and Kathy's not a type of woman or girl to wear cut shorts, really short shorts, and wear white. She was wearing a white t-shirt. And she sat on my lap, and she goes, "Dave, you know you can have me. All you gotta do is ask me to go out with you without being afraid." Of course, I never do ask her to go out with me. Third dream I had of her, she was now going out with a guy named Michael. And, of course, she ended up dreaming with me. And I had the balls to finally ask her in my dream, like, "Would you go out with me? Would you make love to me?" She ended up saying yes. And we're about to take off her clothes. All of a sudden, Michael appears in my dream. And they're saying, "Kathy, please don't do that. You belong to me." Kathy stops what she was doing. She turns around, looks at Michael, looks at me, and she goes, "I'm sorry, Dave, I can't." All of a sudden, Michael disappears, so did Kathy. I'm just standing there in this apartment or hotel room. What the hell just happened? and all of a sudden I woke up to find out Michael dream linked with us as well and cock blocked me. How can someone cock block somebody in a dream? I never had sex in my dream. I always got turned down. I mean, I finally did have sex, but it was with a zombie woman. Thank God it wasn't a full dream. Then I ended up having recently, like a year ago, ended up having a fight with 3 gold-looking, beautiful ladies, but they were all gold. I was fighting with them and somehow ended up leading to a sex fight. Then I woke up. Then recently, I was at home, about to go to sleep. All of a sudden, I heard this little, beautiful girl's voice saying, "Dave, guess who I am?" I'm like, "I have no idea who you are, beautiful. You sound really cute." She goes, "Thank you." She goes, "I'm Alyssa." I'm like, "Okay." She goes, "I'm your girlfriend who died a long time ago. I'm Kathy's split personality, guardian angel, awakened inside of her." I'm like, "You're joking me." She goes, "Nope." I'm like, "Why decide to show yourself now?" She goes, "You'll find out later." See, I find out when I was married with my ex-wife, Bobby, that multiple personalities and split personalities are awakened guardian angels. How I found out, one day, I'm a thinker, I think a lot, and I was thinking one day, and all of a sudden I heard a voice in my head telling me to look at the Roman Catholic Bible, turn to a certain page of the Roman Catholic Bible, look on the left page, read the certain paragraph, and I did. The paragraph ended up saying, "God sends forth children to protect the children in need." And I started thinking about that, and also when I decided, I think multiple personalities, but personalities are awakened guardian angels. So I had to confront my ex-wife, multiple personality, confronted Mabel. Mabel, mouth dropped, eyes wide open. She ended up saying, "How in the hell did you know that? Nobody in mankind history knows about awakened guardian angels. They always thought it was just regular split personalities, multiple personalities, and you're the only one who knows that." I'm like, "I'm a thinker, and I know I have knowledge of things people don't even know about." Mabel, when she's inside Bob, when she appeared inside Bob, Bobby was 6 years old. Mabel still acts like a 6-year-old, but she's actually 25 years old. Barbara, she is 32 years old, but when inside Bobby, she is 15 years old. Cindy, she is 12 years old. No, in Bobby she's 12 years old, but she's actually 9 years old. Then, of course, Bobby had other people's guardian angels visiting her to be with me. Her niece, guardian angel, Jasmine, is one of them. So I realized what guardian angels, or split personalities, multiple personalities are guardian angels awakened inside of people. To find out later, in the future, Bobby's guardian angels weren't Bobby's guardian angels. Cindy wasn't Bobby's guardian angel. Cindy was Michelle Mon's guardian angel, visiting me and wanted to be with me, to be my girlfriend. And of course, Cindy wasn't just Cindy, it was also Michelle Mons. They both taking turns to be with me. And of course, Kathy, she even came to visit me as well through Bobby, just to say something. I don't remember what she said though. Of course, one day, later on in the future, happened recently, about 4 months ago, I'm hearing Alyssa and Kathy talking to me. Kathy is asking me to come on over. Alyssa, same thing. I'm saying, I'm not coming over without no invitation on any device. They're like, "Dave, what's the point talking to you with any device? You are definitely hearing us. You're not crazy. And though we're putting out that you are, but you're not crazy. You are totally sane, this, that, and the other." So I'm like, okay, fine. I finally did. I mean, it took me 30 tries to finally get to Kathy's house and to get out of my car to knock on the door. I knocked on the door. Kathy kept on always telling me that she has a son who's autism, and always tells me Chris Van Hengel's dead. Always got the same message. But I was at Kathy's door. I knocked on it, and I saw the top of a child's head, straight hair, and the door opens up. This little girl standing there, looking at me. Beautiful blue eyes, freckles on the eyes, beautiful as ever, smiling ear to ear. Beautiful smile ever. Didn't say a word to me. Just giving this look in her eyes like, don't I look familiar to you? Look. I didn't know why she was looking at me like that, but I talked to her and asked her if Kathy's home. She smiles, nods her head, and I'm like, can you get her for me? She smiles again, leaves. And of course, Kathy's son gets to the doorway, butt-ass naked, handsome too, and start shaking his body left to right. His dick's going left and right. And when he was doing that, something in my head's popping in and said, Dave, guess what? I'm here. Didn't know why I'm hearing this. And all of a sudden, Kathy getting dragged by her daughter. Kathy saw me, had a smile on her face when she saw me. Then, of course, I ended up saying something really stupid. I ended up saying, I don't think you want to see me. When I said that, that smile disappeared, and she starts yelling at me and starts threatening me. Took her son from the doorway and slammed the door in my face, and ended up yelling in the house with the door shut, saying you better fucking leave before my husband gets home, before he fucking kills you. I got in my car, got upset, drove to the nearest park near her. All of a sudden I hear Alyssa's voice in my head. She goes, guess what, Dave? That little girl you just saw, it's me. I'm like, no, can't be. She goes, it's true. I'm like, I don't believe you. Oh, you